Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that what you are seeking, what you desire most in this world, is already within your grasp. Not in the distant future, not in some abstract sense, but right here, right now. The beauty of life is that what you are looking for is also looking for you. Your desires, your dreams, they are not separate from you. They are simply waiting for you to align with them, to embrace them with your entire being. Is the gateway to creation. Everything that exists in the world today, whether it be great cities, towering skyscrapers, technological marvels, or even the smallest innovations, began as a simple thought in someone's mind. The chair you sit on, the phone in your hand, the music you listen to, all were born from the imagination of an individual who dared to envision what did not yet exist. This ability to imagine is not merely a mental exercise, it is the fundamental force that brings the invisible into the visible. Imagination is the creative force that shapes reality. The power of imagination lies in its ability to transcend the limitations of the physical world. In the realm of imagination, there are no boundaries, no restrictions. You can be anyone, do anything, and have everything you desire. It is a space where you can explore endless possibilities, free from the constraints of time, logic, or circumstance. When you imagine something vividly, you are not just engaging in idle daydreams, you are crafting the blueprint for what will eventually take form in your physical reality. The mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It simply responds to the images and emotions you consistently hold in your consciousness. Allows you to create a vision of the life you want. Every great success story, whether in business, art, science, or personal achievement, begins with someone imagining a future that is different from their present. The greatest leaders and innovators in history have understood this principle. They did not accept the world as it was, they imagined what it could be and worked to bring that vision into existence. But this creative process does not happen by chance. It requires a deep belief in the power of the mind and a willingness to cultivate the inner images that align with the life you wish to create. When you use your imagination deliberately, you are engaging in an act of creation. To do this effectively, you must learn to focus your imagination on what you want rather than what you fear. Many people unknowingly use their imagination to reinforce negative outcomes, imagining the worst-case scenarios and dwelling on their anxieties. This too is a form of creation, but it leads to the manifestation of undesirable results. The mind is incredibly powerful, and what you consistently imagine will eventually manifest, whether positive or negative. Therefore, it is essential to consciously direct your imagination toward your desires and aspirations. One of the most profound ways to harness the creative power of imagination is through the practice of visualization. Visualization involves creating mental images of your desired outcomes and experiencing them as though they are already real. This is not mere fantasy, but a deliberate and purposeful process of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. When you visualize with emotion and belief, you send out powerful signals to the universe, shaping the circumstances and events that will bring your vision into being. The more vividly you can imagine your desires, the more real they become in your consciousness, and the faster they will manifest in your life. Also plays a key role in overcoming obstacles. When faced with challenges, it is easy to become consumed by doubt or fear. However, imagination offers a way to rise above these difficulties. By imagining solutions, new perspectives, and creative ways forward, you can navigate through even the most daunting problems. The ability to think creatively, to see beyond the immediate situation, and to envision a positive outcome is what distinguishes those who succeed from those who remain stuck. Imagination empowers you to see opportunities where others see only limitations. Imagination connects you to a deeper sense of purpose and possibility. It allows you to tap into your innate creativity and express yourself in ways that are uniquely your own. Through imagination, you discover that you are not a passive observer of life, but an active creator of your experience. You hold within you the power to shape your destiny by first shaping the images you carry in your mind. The world around you is a reflection of the world within you. What you imagine consistently with belief and emotion, becomes your reality. Imagination is not something to be dismissed or trivialized. It is the driving force behind every creation. So, the more you cultivate your imagination, the more you realize that there are no limits to what you can achieve. You are the creator of your life, and your imagination is the tool through which all things become possible. When we think about creating the life we desire, we often focus on external actions, making plans, working hard, and pursuing opportunities. While these are important, the real key to manifesting what you want lies within through the alignment of your inner state with your desires. This inner alignment is the process of harmonizing your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to experience. When you align your inner world with what you seek, you create a magnetic force that draws your desires toward you effortlessly and naturally. The first step to inner alignment is recognizing that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you look closely at your life, you will see that it mirrors your dominant thoughts and emotions. If you are constantly worried, stressed, or doubtful, you will likely experience more situations that trigger these feelings. On the other hand, when you cultivate feelings of peace, joy, and fulfillment, even before your desires materialize, you begin to see evidence of these qualities in your external world. This is because the universe responds not just to what you ask for, but to the energy you are emitting. Aligning with your desires starts with belief. You must believe that what you want is not only possible but inevitable. Many people set goals or have dreams but remain stuck because deep down they don't believe they deserve them or doubt they can achieve them. These subconscious blocks create a disconnect between their desires and their reality. Inner alignment means bridging that gap by cultivating a sense of certainty that what you desire is already on its way to you. This belief should be so strong that you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, even if there is no immediate evidence of it in your current circumstances. A critical aspect of this process is learning to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This doesn't mean pretending or denying reality, but rather shifting your focus from lack to abundance. Instead of fixating on what you don't have or what hasn't happened yet, you immerse yourself in the emotions you would feel if your desire were already realized. If you seek love, imagine the joy, warmth, and connection of being in a loving relationship. If you desire financial abundance, feel the security, freedom, and excitement of having financial wealth. The key is to embody the emotional state that corresponds with having what you want long before it arrives. Your emotions are powerful indicators of your alignment. When you feel good, when you experience positive emotions like gratitude, excitement, and contentment, you are in alignment with your desires. These feelings are like signals that you are on the right path. Conversely, when you feel frustrated, anxious, or doubtful, it is a sign that you are out of alignment. In these moments, it is important to realign yourself by shifting your focus back to the feelings of your desire fulfilled. This can be done through visualization, affirmations, or simply taking time to appreciate what is already good in your life. Another important component of inner alignment is letting go of attachment to the outcome. This might seem counterintuitive, especially when you deeply want something, but clinging too tightly to your desires creates resistance. When you are overly attached, you may experience feelings of desperation or fear of losing out, which are actually signals of lack. These feelings push what you want further away. To align with your desires, you must trust that the universe is working in your favor, and that your desires will manifest in the perfect way and timing. This doesn't mean you stop wanting your desire. It means you release the need to control how and when it will come, knowing that it is already on its way. This trust is rooted in the understanding that everything you seek is already available to you on a vibrational level. The universe responds to the frequency of your thoughts and emotions. When you are in alignment, you are vibrating at the same frequency as your desire. This is why it's so crucial to stay in a state of positive expectation and gratitude. By appreciating the good things already in your life and expecting more to come, you align yourself with the energy of abundance, and what you want flows to you more easily. Inner alignment with desire also requires patience. The process of manifesting your desires is not always immediate, and there may be moments when doubt creeps in, or things don't seem to be going as planned. During these times, it's important to remain focused on the end result and not get discouraged by temporary setbacks. These are just part of the process, and they don't mean that your desires aren't coming. By maintaining your inner alignment, by keeping your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs in harmony with what you want, to ensure that your desires will manifest, often in ways more perfect than you could have imagined. Inner alignment with your desires is about becoming the person who already has what you want. It is about feeling, thinking, and acting as though your desires are already a reality, trusting in the process, and releasing any resistance that stands in your way. When you achieve this state of alignment, your desires come to you with ease, as naturally as the sunrise follows the night. The power to manifest your dreams lies not in forcing the external world to change, but in transforming your inner world to match what you seek. Belief is one of the most powerful forces shaping human experience. It is the foundation upon which we build our understanding of the world, and it directly influences our actions, emotions, and ultimately the outcomes we experience in life. What we believe, we become. Our beliefs shape our perceptions, guide our choices, and create the lens through which we view reality. Whether we are aware of it or not, our beliefs hold tremendous power, determining the direction of our lives and the quality of our experiences. The power of belief operates on both conscious and subconscious levels. Consciously, we hold beliefs about ourselves, our abilities, and what is possible in our lives. These beliefs influence the decisions we make every day. If you believe you are capable, talented, and deserving of success, you will approach life with confidence, seize opportunities, and persevere through challenges. On the other hand, if you hold limiting beliefs such as believing you are unworthy, not smart enough, or unlucky, your actions will reflect these doubts, often resulting in missed opportunities or self-sabotage. But it is the subconscious beliefs, those deeply ingrained assumptions we hold about life, that are often the most powerful. These are the beliefs formed from early experiences, cultural conditioning, and repeated patterns of thought. They operate silently, often without our awareness, yet they influence every aspect of our lives. If you were taught from a young age that life is a struggle, for example, you may unconsciously adopt this belief and experience continual hardship, even when opportunities for ease and success present themselves. The subconscious mind is a powerful creator of reality, responding to the beliefs that reside within it. The link between belief and manifestation is profound. What you believe about the world, others, and yourself becomes your reality. The world reflects back to you the beliefs you hold. If you believe that success is difficult to achieve, it will be. If you believe that love is hard to find, your experiences will confirm this. Conversely, if you believe that abundance, happiness, and love are your natural states, you will see evidence of this in your life. This is because beliefs act as filters through which we interpret and respond to our experiences. They determine how we perceive opportunities, how we interact with others, and how we respond to challenges. In the realm of personal growth and transformation, changing your beliefs is often the first step to creating the life you desire. But this is not always easy. Many of our beliefs are deeply entrenched, formed over years of conditioning. However, the good news is that beliefs can be changed. The first step to changing a belief is becoming aware of it. This requires introspection and an honest assessment of the thoughts that dominate your mind. Once you become aware of a limiting belief, you can begin to challenge its validity. Ask yourself, is this belief based on fact, or is it a story I've been telling myself? Is it possible that the opposite of this belief could be true? One of the most effective ways to change a belief is through repetition. The subconscious mind is programmed through repeated exposure to thoughts and ideas. If you consistently feed your mind with new, empowering beliefs over time, these will replace the old, limiting ones. Affirmations are a powerful tool in this process. By repeatedly affirming positive beliefs, such as I am worthy of success, I attract love and abundance, or everything is working out for my highest good, you reprogram your subconscious mind to align with these new truths. Another powerful tool for changing beliefs is visualization. When you visualize yourself living in alignment with a new belief, you send strong signals to your subconscious mind. For example, if you want to change a belief around abundance, you could visualize yourself living in a state of financial freedom, feeling the emotions associated with it: peace, joy, and security. The more vivid and emotionally charged your visualizations are, the more powerful they become in shifting your beliefs. It's also important to surround yourself with evidence that supports your new belief. This could involve seeking out success stories of others who have achieved what you desire, or surrounding yourself with people who embody the beliefs you want to adopt. The more you immerse yourself in an environment that reinforces your new beliefs, the faster they will take root. Belief is not just an abstract concept, it has the power to influence physical reality. There are countless stories of individuals who have overcome seemingly insurmountable odds, not because of superior abilities or luck, but because they believed in their ability to succeed. These individuals often held a vision of success so strong that no obstacle could shake their faith. Their belief became a self-fulfilling prophecy, shaping their actions, decisions, and ultimately their outcomes. The power of belief cannot be overstated. What you believe about yourself and the world determines the reality you experience. Your beliefs are the seeds from which your life grows. If you want to change your life, begin by changing your beliefs. Cultivate beliefs that empower you, that align with the vision of the life you want to live. As you shift your inner landscape, your outer world will naturally follow. Belief is the foundation of all creation, and when you harness its power, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Living in the end is a transformative mindset and practice that involves embodying the feeling and state of having already achieved what you desire. It is about mentally and emotionally placing yourself in the position where your goal or wish is already fulfilled. This concept is a powerful key to manifestation, as it aligns your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you want to experience. By doing so, you become a magnet for the circumstances and events that will make your desire a reality. At its core, living in the end means thinking, feeling, and acting as if your desired outcome is already part of your present reality. It shifts your focus from hoping or wishing for something to happen to knowing that it has already occurred in the spiritual or mental realm, and it is only a matter of time before it materializes in the physical world. This mindset brings a sense of calm, confidence, and certainty, because you are no longer anxiously waiting for your desire to manifest. You are living from the state of its fulfillment. One of the most important aspects of living in the end is cultivating the feeling of having already achieved your goal. Emotions play a crucial role in the process of manifestation because they are the language through which your subconscious mind and the universe communicate. When you feel the emotions associated with your wish fulfilled, whether it's joy, gratitude, peace, or excitement, you are energetically aligning yourself with the outcome you desire. This alignment creates a vibrational match between your inner state and your external reality, which helps draw your desire toward you. It's essential to engage your imagination. Imagination is not just a tool for daydreaming, but a powerful instrument of creation. By vividly imagining yourself in the scenario where your wish is already fulfilled, you begin to train your mind to accept it as real. For example, if your desire is to manifest financial abundance, you might imagine yourself living a life of financial freedom, paying off debts, traveling the world, or enjoying the security and peace of mind that comes with wealth. The key is to immerse yourself in the scene, feel the emotions of that experience, and consistently return to that state of mind. Living in the end also means letting go of the how often. When we set a goal, we become overly concerned with how it will happen. We feel the need to control every step and manipulate the outcome. However, this attachment to the process can create resistance, as it is rooted in doubt and fear. When you are living in the end, you trust that the path to your desire will unfold in the perfect way, even if you don't yet know how. You release the need to control every detail, and instead focus on maintaining the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. By doing so, you allow the universe to handle the how and orchestrate the events and opportunities that will bring your desire to fruition. Another aspect of living in the end is acting as if your desire is already a reality. This doesn't mean making irrational decisions or pretending in a way that feels forced. Rather, it's about embodying the mindset, confidence, and actions of someone who has already achieved what they want. If your desire is to manifest a successful career, for example, you would begin to adopt the habits, behaviors, and decisions of someone who is already thriving in their field. You might network more confidently, take on new projects with enthusiasm, or approach challenges with the mindset that success is inevitable. By aligning your actions with the version of yourself who has already succeeded, you begin to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. One of the key benefits of living in the end is that it helps to dissolve resistance. Resistance often comes in the form of fear, doubt, and negative thinking, which block the flow of manifestation. When you are fully immersed in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, there is no room for doubt or fear, because you are already living from the state of having what you want. This mindset removes the struggle and tension associated with waiting for your desire to appear, replacing it with a sense of peace and certainty. Consistency is vital when practicing living in the end. It's easy to fall back into old patterns of thinking, especially when your current reality doesn't yet reflect your desires. However, by consistently returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled through visualization, affirmations, and aligning your actions with your desired outcome, you reinforce this new reality in your mind. Over time, your subconscious mind accepts it as true, and your external circumstances begin to shift to match your inner state. Living in the end is about embodying the mindset, emotions, and behaviors of someone who already has what they desire. It is a powerful practice that aligns your inner world with your goals and helps to manifest them in the physical realm. By focusing on the feeling of your wish fulfilled, trusting the process, and consistently acting from a place of confidence and certainty, you attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that will bring your desires to life. The moment you live from the end, your world begins to change, and what once seemed distant starts to draw closer until it becomes your reality. Letting go and trusting the process is a fundamental principle of achieving success, personal growth, and manifesting your desires. It requires you to release your need for control and surrender to the natural flow of life. While this may seem counterintuitive, especially when you're deeply invested in a goal or outcome, learning to let go is often the key to experiencing the freedom, peace, and success that you seek. Letting go does not mean giving up, rather. It is about releasing attachment to how and when things will happen, trusting that the universe, life, or a higher power is orchestrating everything perfectly behind the scenes. The essence of letting go is rooted in trust, trusting that your desires are heard, that the actions you've taken are sufficient, and that the outcome you seek will manifest in the best possible way. When you let go, you are freeing yourself from the need to micromanage every detail and from the anxiety that comes with trying to control things that are beyond your reach. Control often stems from fear that things won't work out, that you'll miss out on something, or that you are not enough. But when you trust the process, you acknowledge that the universe is working in your favor, and even if the path doesn't unfold exactly as you imagined, it will lead you to where you need to be. One of the reasons letting go is so powerful is that it removes resistance. When you are tightly attached to a specific outcome, or the way you think things should happen, you often create mental and emotional blocks. This resistance can manifest as stress, frustration, or doubt, all of which lower your vibrational energy and push away the very things you desire. By contrast, when you let go and trust the process, you align yourself with a state of flow and openness to receiving what is best for you, even if it comes in unexpected forms. This openness allows opportunities, ideas, and solutions to come into your life with ease because you are no longer standing in your own way. Letting go also means releasing attachment to timing. One of the most common sources of frustration is the belief that things are taking too long, or that you need to achieve something by a specific deadline. This impatience can lead to forcing things to happen, often in ways that feel unnatural or stressful. However, when you trust the process, you understand that things unfold in divine timing. The universe operates according to its own rhythm, and sometimes delays or setbacks are not signs of failure, but rather opportunities for growth, preparation, or a redirection towards something even better than you initially imagined. Trusting the process also involves letting go of the need to know every step of the journey. Often we want to see the entire path laid out before us, but life rarely works that way. The path to achieving your goals or fulfilling your desires is often revealed one step at a time. Trusting the process means having faith that each step you take will lead you closer to your destination, even if you can't see the full picture yet. It's about taking inspired action when it feels right, then stepping back and allowing the next step to reveal itself. This is a dance between effort and surrender, action and patience. Letting go invites a sense of peace and inner calm. When you're constantly trying to control outcomes, you place yourself under enormous mental and emotional strain. You may become preoccupied with worst-case scenarios or obsess over what hasn't yet materialized. This constant state of tension can lead to burnout or disappointment. However, when you release your need for control, you invite ease into your life. You learn to enjoy the present moment, trusting that what is meant for you will come to you at the right time. This sense of peace allows you to approach your goals from a place of joy rather than anxiety, which in turn enhances your ability to manifest what you desire. A critical part of letting go is accepting that life's outcomes are not always in our hands. There are many factors that influence our circumstances, and not everything is within our control. Letting go involves acknowledging this fact and being at peace with it. You can control your actions, your thoughts, and your responses, but you cannot always control the external events that occur in your life. Trusting the process means believing that even in the face of adversity or setbacks, life is still working for your highest good. Sometimes, what we perceive as a failure or disappointment is actually a redirection towards something greater. Letting go allows you to tap into the wisdom of your higher self or intuition. When you are constantly forcing outcomes, you may ignore the subtle signs and guidance that the universe is offering you. By trusting the process, you become more attuned to these inner nudges, which often lead you in the right direction with much more ease than if you were trying to figure everything out on your own. Intuition often speaks softly, and it is in the space of letting go that you can hear it more clearly. Letting go and trusting the process is about releasing attachment to how and when things will happen and embracing the journey with faith and openness. It frees you from the stress of overthinking, removes resistance, and allows life to unfold naturally. By trusting that everything is working out in your favor, even if it's not immediately apparent, you align yourself with the flow of life. This alignment allows your desires to manifest with greater ease and in ways that are often better than you could have planned. Let go, trust the process, and watch how life begins to move in your favor. The law of assumption is a powerful principle rooted in the idea that whatever you assume to be true, whether about yourself, others, or the world around you, will manifest in your reality. It is based on the understanding that your assumptions shape your perceptions, beliefs, and actions, and ultimately they create your experience of life. Unlike the law of attraction, which focuses on the energy you emit and the like energy you attract, the law of assumption centers on the idea that your assumptions directly create your reality by influencing your subconscious mind and the circumstances you encounter. At its core, the law of assumption states that you must assume the feeling and state of already having what you desire, and then reality will conform to that assumption. This means that the key to manifesting your desires is not in wishing, hoping, or even waiting for them to happen, but in assuming that they are already a part of your experience. When you embody the state of having your desire now, whether it is success, love, abundance, or health, you shift your inner world to align with that reality, and your external world follows suit. The first step in applying the law of assumption is identifying what it is that you truly want. Once you are clear on your desire, you must begin to assume that it is already yours. This involves creating a mental image and emotional state of your wish fulfilled. The more vividly and consistently you can imagine yourself living in this reality, the more powerfully you will assume it to be true. Your subconscious mind which controls much of your behavior and perception, does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. Therefore, by assuming the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you are programming your subconscious to accept this as your new reality. A crucial aspect of this process is understanding the role of feelings and emotions. The law of assumption teaches that it is not enough to simply think about what you want, you must also feel as though it is already yours. Your feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, and they send powerful signals to the universe about what you are creating. If you feel abundant, loved, or successful, even before these things are physically present in your life, you align yourself with the energy of those experiences. Conversely, if you feel lack, doubt, or frustration, you are assuming that your desires are not yours, and the universe will mirror this assumption by keeping them out of reach. In conclusion, the key to manifesting your desires lies in the power of your imagination, belief, and the ability to live in the end, embodying the feeling of already having what you seek. By trusting the process, letting go of control, and assuming your wish is fulfilled, you align your inner world with the reality you desire. Everything starts within. What you believe and assume becomes your experience. As you embrace these principles, you'll find that life begins to shift in remarkable ways, bringing your dreams to fruition. Thank you. None to you. Ladies and gentlemen, in this world where noise surrounds us, where every moment is filled with the clamor of demands, distractions, and doubts, we often forget the immense power that lies in silence. We are conditioned to believe that only through constant action, through chasing and striving, can we create the life we desire. But the truth is far simpler, far more profound when you stay silent. Everything you seek comes to you naturally. Imagination is the creative force that shapes the fabric of our reality. Everything we experience in the physical world first begins in the mind as a thought, a mental image, or a feeling. This concept is not merely poetic, it is a fundamental truth about the nature of existence. Our imagination is the blueprint from which our lives are built. What we consistently think about, what we dwell upon, eventually becomes our experience. To understand this, consider that every invention, every piece of art, and every achievement first existed in someone's imagination. The chair you sit on, the device you're reading from, and the buildings that surround you were all once only ideas. Before they took physical form, they existed in the unseen realm of thought. The world itself is a manifestation of countless imaginations at work. This creative power is not limited to the grand or the visible. Every single thought, every emotion, is a seed planted in the garden of your subconscious mind. Over time, with focus and repetition, these seeds take root and grow into your experiences. Now, if you hold a particular image in your mind, whether it's of success, love, or fear, the external world will begin to reflect that image back to you. Life is a mirror, constantly reflecting the state of your inner world. Imagination is more than idle daydreaming. It is an active process of creation. When we use our imagination deliberately, we can mold our future. If you wish to change your circumstances, you must first change the images you hold in your mind. Imagine the life you desire as though it is already yours. Feel the emotions associated with it, believe it is possible, and let this inner vision guide your thoughts and actions. The beauty of this process is that it doesn't rely on external conditions. You do not need evidence of your desires manifesting in the physical world before you begin to imagine them. In fact, the opposite is true. You must imagine them first, feel them as real, and the evidence will follow. Your imagination is not limited by time or space. It transcends the material world, allowing you to access infinite possibilities. By mastering your imagination, you gain the ability to consciously create your reality. You become the artist of your own life, painting the picture of your experience with the colors of your thoughts and beliefs. Silence serves as the fertile soil from which all creation springs forth. In a world bustling with noise, distractions, and constant activity, it is easy to overlook the profound power of stillness. Yet it is in moments of silence that our minds become most receptive to inspiration and insight. Just as seeds require quiet earth to germinate, Our ideas and aspirations need the nurturing environment of silence to flourish. When we embrace silence, we create space for our inner thoughts and desires to emerge without interference. In this sacred stillness, we can connect with our deeper selves, allowing our authentic voices to rise to the surface. It is here, in this calm sanctuary, that creativity begins to blossom. The mind is freed from the chaos of external demands, granting us the clarity to envision the life we wish to create. We can reflect on our true intentions and desires. It allows us to sift through the noise of societal expectations and the clutter of daily life to uncover what truly matters to us. This introspective process is crucial for personal growth and transformation. By engaging with our innermost thoughts, we cultivate an understanding of our aspirations and dreams, planting the seeds for future endeavors. Silence fosters a deep sense of intuition. In the quiet, we can hear the whispers of inspiration that guide us toward our goals. When we silence the chatter of self-doubt and fear, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that lie within us. It is in this stillness that we can tap into our innate creativity, allowing new ideas to flow effortlessly. These moments of inspiration often lead to groundbreaking insights and innovative solutions that may have eluded us in the din of everyday life. Silence also encourages patience. Just as a seed does not sprout overnight, our dreams require time to manifest. When we remain silent and patient, we trust in the process of creation, understanding that everything unfolds in its own perfect timing. This faith in the unseen helps us let go of the need to control outcomes and allows us to be present in the journey. Silence is not an absence of sound, but a powerful catalyst for creation. By embracing stillness, we cultivate the inner landscape needed for our desires to take root and thrive. In this fertile soil of silence, our visions can grow, ultimately leading to a rich and fulfilling life. The power of assumption is a fundamental principle in the art of creation and manifestation. At its core, this concept revolves around the idea that what we assume to be true influences our experiences and shapes our reality. Our assumptions act as the lens through which we perceive the world, guiding our thoughts, emotions, and actions. When we consciously choose to assume that our desires are already fulfilled, we align ourselves with the energy necessary to bring those desires into our lives. To understand this power, consider how our beliefs inform our reality. If you assume success is within your reach, you are more likely to take the actions necessary to achieve it. Conversely, if you assume failure or limitation, you will unconsciously create circumstances that reinforce that belief. Our assumptions create a self-fulfilling prophecy. They dictate the outcomes we experience. Therefore, it becomes essential to cultivate positive and empowering assumptions that align with our goals and aspirations. Assumption works in two primary ways: as a conscious choice and as an underlying belief. The conscious choice involves actively deciding to embrace an assumption that supports your desires. This might mean visualizing your dreams as if they have already come to pass, feeling the emotions associated with their fulfillment, and affirming your belief in their reality. When you engage in this practice, you begin to rewrite the narrative of your life, shifting your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. On the other hand, underlying beliefs are often subconscious, formed through past experiences and societal conditioning. These beliefs can create internal resistance when you try to manifest something new. To harness the power of assumption effectively, it is crucial to identify and address these limiting beliefs. This may involve introspection, challenging negative thought patterns, and replacing them with positive affirmations. By consciously choosing to believe in your worthiness and the possibility of your desires, you begin to transform your inner landscape. The power of assumption is strengthened by consistency and repetition. The more you reinforce your assumptions through thought and emotion, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious. Over time, this consistent practice leads to a profound shift in your reality. You begin to attract circumstances, opportunities, and people that reflect your assumptions, creating a harmonious alignment between your inner beliefs and external experiences. The power of assumption is a dynamic force in shaping our lives. By consciously choosing empowering assumptions, identifying and transforming limiting beliefs, and reinforcing these truths through consistent practice, we unlock the potential to manifest our desires and create the life we truly wish to live. Letting go of the need for control is one of the most liberating and transformative practices we can undertake. In our fast-paced, results-driven society, the instinct to control outcomes can become a pervasive habit. We often feel that if we can just manage every detail of our lives, we will achieve the success, happiness, and security we desire. However, this illusion of control can lead to stress, anxiety, and ultimately disappointment. Learning to release this need opens up a world of possibilities and invites greater ease into our lives. At its core, the need for control stems from fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or fear of not being enough. We cling to the belief that we can dictate every aspect of our lives to avoid discomfort or chaos. Yet this approach often results in resistance and frustration when things do not unfold as planned. Life is inherently unpredictable, and no amount of effort can guarantee specific outcomes. By clinging tightly to our expectations, we inadvertently limit ourselves and create unnecessary tension. Letting go of control requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing life as a series of problems to be managed, we can embrace it as a flow of experiences to be navigated. This mindset encourages us to trust the natural unfolding of events, allowing us to respond to life with grace rather than fear. When we release our grip on control, we open ourselves up to serendipity and spontaneity, welcoming new opportunities that we may have otherwise overlooked. Practicing surrender doesn't mean becoming passive or disengaged. Rather, it's about actively participating in life while maintaining a sense of inner peace. This involves trusting ourselves and the universe to handle the details. By cultivating faith in our abilities and the larger process of life, we can approach challenges with a sense of curiosity rather than dread. This perspective fosters resilience, enabling us to adapt and thrive in the face of uncertainty. Letting go of control enhances our relationships. When we stop trying to control others or the outcomes of our interactions, we create space for authentic connections. This openness allows for deeper communication and mutual understanding, fostering an environment where creativity and collaboration can flourish. Releasing the need for control invites a sense of freedom and empowerment. It allows us to embrace our full potential, letting life unfold in ways that surpass our limited expectations. By trusting the journey and surrendering to the flow of existence, we discover that life can be more beautiful, fulfilling, and abundant than we ever imagined. Embracing this approach transforms not only our personal experiences, but also our relationship with the world around us, enriching our lives in profound and meaningful ways. Inner conviction is the quiet yet powerful force that shapes the outer world. At its essence, it is the unwavering belief in the reality of our desires, regardless of external circumstances. When we are fully convinced of something on a deep, internal level, it manifests outwardly in our lives. This is because the world we experience is a reflection of our inner state of being. The changes we seek in our external environment must first occur within us. Our thoughts and beliefs have a profound influence on the reality we create. Inner conviction stems from more than wishful thinking. It is rooted in a deep sense of certainty. When we hold strong convictions about who we are, what we are capable of, and what we deserve, we naturally take actions that align with those beliefs. Conversely, if our internal world is filled with doubt, fear, or insecurity, our outer world will reflect those limitations. We may find ourselves stuck in patterns of self-sabotage or unable to move forward, despite our best efforts. The transformative power of inner conviction lies in the alignment between our thoughts, emotions, and actions. When we are fully convinced that something is possible, we act with confidence and intention, without hesitation or second-guessing. This conviction shapes the energy we project, attracting circumstances, opportunities, and people that support our goals. It is this alignment that makes outer change inevitable. This principle can be observed in many successful individuals. Whether in the realms of business, sports, or the arts, those who achieve great things are often characterized by an unshakable belief in themselves and their vision. They may face challenges, setbacks, or even failure, but their inner conviction remains steadfast, propelling them forward. This resilience is what sets them apart. They understand that the outer world is malleable and responds to the strength of their belief. Inner conviction also has a ripple effect. When you truly believe in yourself and your purpose, others will naturally respond to that energy. People are drawn to those who exude confidence and certainty. This can open doors, create partnerships, and generate support in unexpected ways. Inner conviction becomes contagious, influencing not only your own life but also those around you. Change begins from within. By cultivating a deep inner conviction through visualization, affirmation, and emotional alignment, you become a magnet for the outer changes you seek. Your world starts to reflect the reality of your beliefs, shifting to match the certainty you hold in your mind and heart. The outer world, which once seemed resistant to your desires, now bends to accommodate the strength of your inner truth. Faith in the unseen is a powerful concept that lies at the heart of personal transformation and manifestation. It invites us to believe in possibilities beyond our current circumstances, trusting in outcomes that have not yet materialized. This kind of faith requires a deep sense of conviction that there is a larger force at work, guiding our journey and aligning our experiences with our desires. In our fast-paced, evidence-driven world, it can be challenging to embrace the idea of faith without tangible proof. We often seek reassurance through visible signs and immediate results, which can lead to frustration when our desires do not manifest as quickly as we hope. However, true faith is not contingent upon what we see. It thrives in the unknown, finding strength in uncertainty. This trust allows us to cultivate patience and resilience, understanding that the unfolding of our dreams may take time. Faith in the unseen is akin to planting a seed in the ground. Once the seed is buried, it is not immediately visible, yet the process of growth begins beneath the surface. The soil, water, and nutrients work together in silence, nourishing the seed until it eventually breaks through the earth. Similarly, when we set our intentions and believe in their fulfillment, we must have faith that the unseen forces are aligning to bring our desires to fruition, even if we cannot yet see the evidence of their growth. This type of faith also encourages us to let go of the need for control. By trusting in the unseen, we release the burden of managing every detail of our lives. This surrender does not mean passivity. Rather, it allows us to be open to opportunities and possibilities that we may not have previously considered. When we relinquish control, we create space for unexpected blessings and serendipitous events to enter our lives, enriching our experiences in ways we could not have anticipated. Faith in the unseen empowers us to overcome fear and self-doubt. It helps us navigate challenges with grace, reminding us that even in moments of uncertainty, we are supported by something greater than ourselves. This faith acts as a beacon of hope, encouraging us to persevere when the path seems unclear or daunting. Embracing faith in the unseen transforms our relationship with reality. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what is possible, fostering a mindset of abundance and gratitude. By cultivating this faith, we align ourselves with the rhythms of life, opening our hearts and minds to the miracles that await us. As we nurture this faith, we find that the unseen is not merely a void, it is a realm of potential filled with infinite possibilities, waiting for us to step into our power and claim the lives we truly desire. In conclusion, we have explored the profound principles that guide us on our journey of creation and manifestation. From recognizing the incredible power of our imagination to understanding how silence serves as fertile soil for our dreams, we have seen how our inner landscape shapes the outer reality we experience. By embracing the power of assumption, letting go of the need for control, nurturing our inner conviction, and having faith in the unseen, we unlock our true potential and align ourselves with the life we desire. These concepts remind us that we are active participants in our own lives, capable of creating meaningful change through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. By cultivating a deep sense of trust in ourselves and the processes of life, we empower ourselves to navigate challenges with grace and to embrace opportunities with open hearts. As we leave here today, may we carry these insights with us, integrating them into our daily lives. Let us remember that the journey of creation is as much about the inner work we do as it is about the outer manifestations we seek. Thank you for your attention and for sharing this journey of exploration and growth with me. Together, let us step boldly into the infinite possibilities that await us. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the world we perceive around us, the relationships we form, the people we meet, these are all reflections of what lies within us. When we speak of a lack of friends, it isn't merely a description of our external reality, but a mirror reflecting something deeper within. Our external world, including the relationships we cultivate, the friendships we maintain, and the experiences we have, is a direct reflection of our internal state. This idea, though simple in concept, holds profound implications for how we navigate life and interact with others. Often, when we notice that something is missing in our external world, whether it be meaningful friendships, fulfilling relationships, or social connections, it is tempting to believe that the cause lies outside of ourselves. We might blame circumstances, timing, or other people. But the truth is far more intimate. The external world is merely mirroring what we hold within. If we find ourselves lacking friends or meaningful connections, this absence does not necessarily indicate that we are not worthy of friendship or that there are no good people around us. Instead, it points to something within us, perhaps a belief, an assumption, or an emotional state that needs our attention. The world responds to our inner dialogue, the thoughts we think about ourselves, and the feelings we consistently carry. If deep down we harbor feelings of unworthiness, insecurity, or self-doubt, those emotions become the lens through which we see and experience the world. They color our interactions and subtly affect the energy we project to others. It's important to understand that we are constantly in a dialogue with the universe, even when we are unaware of it. The energy we put out through our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions creates the experiences we encounter. If we feel disconnected, unloved, or isolated, it often stems from the stories we have internalized about ourselves. These stories might have been formed from past experiences, disappointments, or even societal conditioning, but they become part of the fabric of our identity unless we consciously work to change them. The key to transforming our external reality lies in shifting our internal state. The relationships and friendships we desire will not materialize through external effort alone, such as seeking out people or trying harder to connect. Rather, the first step is to examine the beliefs and feelings we hold within ourselves. Do we truly believe we are worthy of friendship? Do we feel deserving of love and connection? Or do we carry subtle beliefs that push people away, beliefs that tell us we are not good enough, interesting enough, or deserving enough? When we make the choice to change these internal narratives, our external world begins to shift in response. By cultivating feelings of worthiness, self-love, and openness, we start to attract people who reflect these qualities back to us. Relationships begin to feel effortless when we no longer carry the weight of self-doubt or fear of rejection. Instead, we begin to move through the world with a sense of confidence and inner peace, which naturally draws others toward us. The beauty of this understanding is that we have the power to change our reality at any moment. By becoming aware of the internal state we are living from and choosing to align with more empowering beliefs, we can transform not just our friendships, but every aspect of our lives. Our outer world is always a reflection of our inner world, and when we shift within, the world around us cannot help but follow suit. The relationships we form and nurture in life are profoundly influenced by our self-concept, our fundamental beliefs about who we are. Self-concept is the mental image we hold of ourselves, shaped by our experiences, perceptions, and internalized beliefs. It affects not only how we see ourselves, but also how we interact with others, the type of relationships we attract, and even the depth of those relationships. When we examine our friendships and social connections, we must recognize that these are, in large part, a reflection of how we view ourselves. At its core, self-concept is about identity. It answers the question, who am I? And the responses to that question create a framework through which we engage with the world. If we believe we are worthy, interesting, and lovable, we project that energy into our interactions with others. This energy draws people to us who resonate with that self-perception. On the other hand, if our self-concept is rooted in feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness, we may unconsciously repel potential friends or sabotage meaningful connections. The people we meet and the quality of the relationships we form are influenced by the way we see ourselves. Someone who believes they are socially awkward may carry that belief into every interaction. They may avoid social situations, shy away from deep conversations, or feel anxious when meeting new people, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Others may pick up on that discomfort, leading to awkward or superficial exchanges. The person may then walk away from these interactions with a reinforced belief that they are socially awkward, when in fact it was their self-concept that shaped the entire encounter. In contrast, someone who holds a strong belief in their ability to connect with others will enter social situations with confidence and ease, creating a different, more positive dynamic. Our self-concept also dictates what we believe we deserve in relationships. If we see ourselves as unworthy of love or friendship, we may settle for toxic or unfulfilling relationships, or we may not pursue meaningful connections at all. We might accept behavior from others that is disrespectful or dismissive because we do not believe we deserve better. On the other hand, a person with a healthy, positive self-concept will naturally attract relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and affection. This person believes they are deserving of such relationships, and as a result, they manifest them in their life. The expectations we have about relationships also stem from our self-concept. If we expect others to reject or judge us, we may unknowingly project that fear, causing others to distance themselves. This creates a cycle in which our negative self-beliefs are constantly reinforced by our experiences. Breaking this cycle requires a conscious shift in how we see ourselves. When we begin to shift our internal beliefs and truly feel deserving of love and connection, we change the energy we bring into relationships, and the people around us respond accordingly. The powerful truth is that when we improve our self-concept, the relationships in our lives begin to change as well. By nurturing a positive and loving view of ourselves, we create the conditions necessary for healthy, fulfilling connections. The quality of our relationships is not dictated by luck or external factors, but by how we perceive ourselves. When we believe we are worthy of meaningful, deep friendships, those relationships begin to manifest naturally in our lives. Our self-concept, therefore, becomes the foundation upon which all of our relationships are built. The concept that assumptions create reality is a powerful principle that underscores how the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world shape our experiences. Our assumptions, whether positive or negative, are like seeds planted in the soil of our minds. Over time, these assumptions grow into the reality we live. This idea suggests that the outer world is not something we merely react to, rather, it is a reflection of what we assume to be true. The life we experience, our relationships, opportunities, challenges, is often the result of the assumptions we carry, both consciously and unconsciously. Every day, we make assumptions about ourselves, other people, and the world at large. These assumptions may be so ingrained that we don't even realize we're making them. For example, a person who assumes that they are unlucky or undeserving of success will likely encounter situations that reinforce that belief. They might miss out on opportunities or sabotage their own efforts without even knowing it, because their actions are aligned with that assumption. This creates a cycle where their negative assumption manifests in reality, further convincing them that they were right all along. In contrast, someone who assumes that they are capable and deserving will act in ways that reflect that belief, drawing success and positive experiences into their life. The impact of assumptions is particularly evident in relationships. If we assume that others don't like us or are indifferent to us, we might approach social interactions with hesitation or defensiveness. We might be less open, less warm, or less willing to engage. People around us pick up on that energy, and it can create a distance or coldness in the interaction, reinforcing our assumption that others are uninterested. However, if we assume that people are generally kind and receptive, we are more likely to approach them with confidence and openness, which encourages a positive response and fulfilling interactions. The reality we experience with others, therefore, is often shaped by the assumptions we hold going into those interactions. It is essential to recognize that assumptions act as filters for how we perceive reality. Our minds have an incredible ability to confirm what we already believe. When we assume something, we unconsciously look for evidence that supports that belief, often ignoring information that contradicts it. This confirmation bias can either work for us or against us, depending on the nature of the assumption. For instance, someone who assumes they are not intelligent may focus on moments when they struggle with a task, while disregarding their many achievements. Over time, they create a narrative that reinforces their lack of self-confidence, even though the reality might be that they are more capable than they realize. The good news is that we have the power to change our assumptions, and by doing so, we can change our reality. When we consciously choose to assume the best about ourselves and the world, we begin to act in ways that align with those positive beliefs. This shift in perspective allows us to open up to new possibilities and experiences. The process begins with awareness, becoming mindful of the assumptions we hold, and then deliberately choosing assumptions that support the kind of life we want to create. Our assumptions serve as the foundation of our lived experiences. By understanding that we are constantly shaping our reality through what we assume, we can take control of our inner world and, as a result, influence the outer world. Whether in relationships, career, or personal growth, the reality we desire begins with the assumptions we cultivate. When we change those, we change everything. Changing the inner story is a powerful and transformative process that involves shifting the narrative we hold about ourselves and the world around us. The inner story refers to the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we tell ourselves repeatedly. It is the narrative we create in our minds, often based on past experiences, emotions, and deeply ingrained perceptions. This story shapes how we see ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we perceive opportunities and challenges. If our inner story is rooted in limiting beliefs or negativity, it can hold us back from achieving our true potential. However, by changing the inner story, we can profoundly transform our external reality. Most of us are unaware of the power of the stories we tell ourselves. These stories are usually subtle, running in the background of our thoughts like a mental script. Over time, these narratives can become self-fulfilling prophecies. For example, someone who repeatedly tells themselves that they are not good enough, not smart enough, or not deserving of success will act in ways that reinforce this story. They might shy away from opportunities, avoid challenges, or sabotage their efforts because their internal dialogue convinces them that failure is inevitable. In this way, the inner story shapes the outer reality. The good news is that we are not bound by the stories we've been telling ourselves. At any moment, we have the power to revise and rewrite our inner narrative. Changing the inner story begins with becoming aware of it. Many people are unaware of the negative or limiting beliefs they hold, because these thoughts have become so ingrained in their daily thinking. The first step in transformation is to observe the inner dialogue without judgment. What do you tell yourself when faced with a challenge? What is the first thought that comes to mind when you think about your abilities, your worth, or your future? By bringing these stories to light, you can begin to understand how they have influenced your actions and shaped your life. Once you become aware of your inner story, the next step is to consciously choose a new narrative. This is where imagination plays a critical role. Instead of focusing on past failures, doubts, or fears, imagine a story where you are capable, confident, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. What would your life look like if you believed in your potential? How would you act if you truly felt worthy of success and love? By creating a new inner story that aligns with the life you want to live, you begin to change the way you perceive yourself and the world. It's important to understand that the inner story is not just about thinking positively. It's about truly feeling and embodying the new narrative. When you consistently tell yourself a new story, one in which you are empowered, capable, and deserving, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as true. Over time, your actions and decisions will naturally reflect this new belief system. You will begin to take more risks, embrace opportunities, and interact with others in a way that reflects your new sense of self-worth. Changing the inner story is not an overnight process. It requires patience, practice, and consistency. Negative stories that have been ingrained for years can be stubborn, but with conscious effort, they can be replaced. Start by rewriting small parts of your narrative. For instance, if you often think, "I'm not good at this," replace it with, "I'm capable of learning and improving." If you frequently tell yourself, "I don't deserve success," replace it with, "I am deserving of all the good things life has to offer." By slowly rewriting these internal scripts, you will begin to see shifts in your external reality. But the inner story we tell ourselves determines the quality of our lives. By changing this story, we unlock the potential for growth, happiness, and fulfillment. When we rewrite the inner narrative to align with the version of ourselves we aspire to be, our external world transforms accordingly. Imagination is one of the most powerful tools we possess when it comes to transforming our lives. It is through imagination that we can create new possibilities, break free from limitations, and shape our future in ways that align with our deepest desires. Often underestimated, imagination is not just a mental escape or a fleeting daydream. It is a creative force that can profoundly influence our reality. The ability to imagine new outcomes and feel them as if they are already true is the key to manifesting real, tangible change in our lives. At its core, imagination allows us to envision a future that is different from our current reality. It enables us to see beyond our present circumstances, no matter how limiting they may seem, and to create mental pictures of the life we want to live. This is where the magic begins. When we can clearly imagine ourselves in situations of success, happiness, and fulfillment, we are setting the foundation for those experiences to manifest in the physical world. The mind does not distinguish between real and imagined experiences. Whatever we vividly imagine with emotion and belief begins to take root in our subconscious mind. Imagination is especially powerful because it allows us to bypass the limitations of logic and past experiences. Many of us are bound by the belief that our future is determined by our past. We look at past failures, disappointments, and challenges as evidence that we cannot achieve more. But imagination breaks that cycle. It frees us from the constraints of what has already happened and empowers us to create something entirely new. Through imagination, we are not limited by the circumstances we've experienced before, because we are tapping into the infinite realm of possibility. The process of using imagination for transformation involves more than just thinking about what we want. It requires us to immerse ourselves in the feeling of already having achieved our desires. The key lies in feeling the emotions associated with the desired outcome: joy, satisfaction, confidence, or peace, as though it is already a reality. When we do this, we align our thoughts, emotions, and energy with the new reality we are creating. This emotional alignment is what propels our desires into manifestation, drawing the necessary circumstances, people, and opportunities into our lives. Consider, for example, someone who wants to improve their social life. They may currently feel isolated or awkward in social situations, but through imagination, they can begin to see themselves as someone who is confident, charismatic, and surrounded by supportive friends. By regularly visualizing this new version of themselves and feeling the emotions that come with it, such as joy, ease, and connection, they start to change their internal state. Over time, these inner changes affect their outer behavior, leading them to naturally attract the kind of friendships they've imagined. Imagination also helps us reprogram limiting beliefs that have held us back. Many of our current limitations are the result of beliefs we've unconsciously accepted over time. Perhaps we've been told we're not capable, or that we'll never succeed, and these ideas have taken root in our minds. But through imagination, we can rewrite these narratives. We can imagine ourselves as capable, successful, and worthy of achieving our dreams, regardless of what we've been told or what we've experienced in the past. In doing so, we dismantle the mental barriers that have kept us stuck and open ourselves to new possibilities. Imagination helps us stay motivated and focused on our goals, even when we face obstacles. When challenges arise, we can return to the mental image of our desired outcome and remind ourselves of the greater vision we are working toward. This vision keeps us anchored, giving us the strength and determination to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. Imagination is the key to transformation because it allows us to envision and feel new realities before they manifest in the physical world. By engaging our imagination with emotion and belief, we can change our internal state, break free from limiting patterns, and attract the experiences we truly desire. When used consciously, imagination becomes a tool for creation, enabling us to transform our lives from the inside out. Living from the end is a powerful concept that involves adopting the mindset and emotional state of already having achieved a desired outcome. It is about mentally and emotionally placing yourself in the position of the person who already has what they want, acting as if the goal or dream is already a reality. This approach shifts your focus from the obstacles and uncertainties of the present to the certainty of your desired future, creating a powerful alignment between your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When you live from the end, you embody the version of yourself that already exists in your ideal reality, and in doing so, you attract that reality into your life. At the heart of this concept is the understanding that our outer world is shaped by our inner state. Instead of focusing on the gap between where you are now and where you want to be, living from the end requires you to feel and think as though you have already reached your goal. By doing this, you begin to create a new vibration or energy that resonates with the reality you desire. This shift in consciousness allows your subconscious mind to accept this new reality as truth, and it begins to manifest in the physical world. The actions you take, the decisions you make, and even the people you attract will reflect this new state of being. One of the key elements of living from the end is the power of imagination. You must vividly imagine yourself in the desired state, not just as a passive dream, but as a lived experience. This involves engaging all your senses in the mental picture. What would it feel like, look like, and sound like if your goal were already achieved? By immersing yourself in this vision, you are training your mind and emotions to align with that reality. The mind, in its remarkable capacity, does not distinguish between real and imagined experiences when emotion is involved. By feeling the emotions of success, joy, or fulfillment now, you begin to create the conditions that will bring that experience into your life. Living from the end also helps to eliminate doubts and fears that may otherwise hold you back. When you are focused on the present or the unknown future, it's easy to become overwhelmed by challenges, setbacks, or the possibility of failure. However, when you live from the end, you operate from a place of certainty. You know that the outcome is already yours. This shift in perception reduces anxiety and resistance, because you are no longer waiting for something to happen. You are already living as if it has. As a result, your actions become more aligned, purposeful, and confident. It's important to note that living from the end does not mean ignoring your present reality or pretending that obstacles don't exist. Instead, it means approaching your present situation with the mindset and perspective of someone who knows the outcome is guaranteed. Challenges are seen not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones on the path to your goal. Your faith in the final result becomes the driving force behind your actions, giving you the resilience to overcome difficulties and stay on track. For example, if someone desires a successful career, instead of fixating on the steps they haven't taken or the obstacles in their path, they would begin to live as if they are already the successful professional they aspire to be. They would adopt the behaviors, attitudes, and confidence of someone who has already reached that level of success. By doing this, they begin to naturally attract opportunities and make decisions that are aligned with their desired outcome. Living from the end can be equally transformative. If you desire a loving and fulfilling partnership, instead of focusing on the absence of that relationship, you would begin to feel the love and connection as if it already exists. This feeling of love and fulfillment within yourself will naturally attract a partner who resonates with that same energy. Living from the end is a powerful tool for manifesting your desired reality. By embodying the feelings, thoughts, and behaviors of the person you aspire to be, you create a vibrational alignment that draws your desires into your experience. It's about stepping into the reality you want to create with unwavering faith, knowing that what you seek is already yours. This shift in mindset and energy accelerates the manifestation process, allowing you to live the life you desire with confidence and purpose. In conclusion, the key to transforming our lives lies within us through our assumptions, our self-concept, our imagination, and our ability to live from the end. By changing the inner stories we tell ourselves and embodying the reality we desire, we can shape our outer world to reflect our highest aspirations. The external is always a reflection of the internal, and when we align our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the outcomes we want, transformation naturally follows. Ultimately, we hold the power to create a life filled with meaningful relationships, success, and fulfillment by mastering these principles. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, life, in its rawest form, is not always the pleasant journey we imagine it to be. It is a tapestry woven with challenges, hard lessons, and often uncomfortable truths. Today I want to share with you 8 harsh truths about life truths that we must confront if we are to unlock the power that lies dormant within us. These are not merely observations, they are laws that govern the fabric of our existence. The idea that your reality is shaped by your inner world is a powerful and profound truth, often difficult to grasp in its entirety. We are conditioned to believe that life happens to us, that we are subject to forces beyond our control, whether it's society, circumstances, or the actions of others. Yet the deeper truth is that life does not happen from the outside in, but from the inside out. Everything we experience in the external world is a reflection of our inner thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. To understand this concept, we must first recognize that our consciousness is the ultimate creative force. Every thought we entertain, every belief we hold, shapes the lens through which we perceive the world. If we see the world as a hostile or unfair place, we will encounter events and people that confirm this belief. On the other hand, if we cultivate a mindset of abundance, love, and possibility, our reality will reflect that in kind. This is not to say that external events don't happen, or that challenges won't arise, but rather that the way we interpret and respond to those events is entirely shaped by our inner world. Consider, for instance, 2 people facing the same set of difficult circumstances, perhaps a financial crisis, the loss of a job, or a personal setback. One person might spiral into despair, believing that life is unjust and they are doomed to failure. This mindset of defeat becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They stop trying, they become paralyzed by fear, and as a result, they continue to experience more of the same hardship. Their belief that the world is against them shapes their experience, reinforcing a cycle of negativity. Meanwhile, the second person, despite facing the same situation, maintains a mindset of resilience and possibility. They believe that there is a way forward, even if it's not immediately visible. This individual understands that their inner state will determine how they navigate the external challenge. With a mindset grounded in faith and determination, they seek solutions, remain open to new opportunities, and often find a way through the difficulty. Their inner belief in their own ability to overcome shapes their external reality, allowing them to thrive in circumstances where others may falter. This concept can be extended to every aspect of life, whether it's relationships, career, health, or personal fulfillment. The quality of our relationships, for example, is largely determined by how we see ourselves and others. If we harbor feelings of unworthiness, we are likely to attract people who treat us in ways that confirm this belief. We may even sabotage relationships that have the potential to flourish, simply because our inner world is conditioned to expect failure or rejection. Conversely, when we cultivate a sense of self-worth and love within, we naturally attract relationships that reflect those qualities. The same is true in the realm of career and success. If we believe that opportunities are scarce or that we are unqualified, we close ourselves off from possibilities. Our inner dialogue shapes our actions, often leading us to avoid risks or settle for less than we are capable of achieving. But when we shift our internal narrative, believing in our own potential and in the abundance of opportunities, we start to see possibilities that were previously invisible to us. The world opens up in response to our internal shift. It is also crucial to recognize that shaping reality through our inner world is not about denying the difficulties or pretending that challenges don't exist. It is about changing our relationship to those challenges. When we approach life with a mindset that empowers rather than limits us, we start to see that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. We are no longer victims of circumstance, but creators of our experience. This principle is often described as the law of attraction, but it goes beyond simply attracting good things into our lives. It is about aligning our inner world with the life we want to live. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs act like a magnet, drawing experiences that match our inner state. If we are filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, we will find ourselves in situations that reinforce those feelings. But if we are filled with faith, confidence, and positivity, the world will reflect that back to us. The realization that our reality is shaped by our inner world is both a responsibility and a gift. It means that we are never truly powerless, no matter what circumstances we face. The power to change our life lies within us, in the way we think, feel, and believe. As we cultivate a rich, positive inner life, we begin to see the external world transform in ways that align with our deepest desires and highest potential. There is a sobering truth that many of us resist, yet it holds the key to personal empowerment. No one is coming to save you. It's a difficult idea to accept because we often look to others, whether it's friends, family, institutions, or society at large, to help us when we feel stuck, overwhelmed, or lost. We wait for a breakthrough, a sign, or for someone else to make things right. But the reality is, the responsibility for our lives rests entirely on our own shoulders. No external force can rescue us from our challenges. Only we have the power to change our circumstances. This doesn't mean that help, support, or kindness from others isn't valuable. Of course it is. We all benefit from guidance and encouragement along the way. But the ultimate responsibility for navigating life's obstacles and creating the reality we desire lies with us. Waiting for someone else to solve our problems or make decisions for us only leads to disappointment and stagnation. When we place our hope outside of ourselves, we give away our power. We lose the sense of agency that is necessary for true growth and transformation. The belief that someone or something will come along to rescue us can take many forms. For some, it's the hope that a mentor, partner, or family member will provide the answers. For others, it's the belief that the right job, a certain amount of money, or even a stroke of luck will fix everything. While these things can certainly make life easier or provide temporary relief, they are not the ultimate solution. Life's challenges will continue to arise, and unless we develop the internal strength to face them head-on, we will remain at the mercy of our circumstances. Taking responsibility for our lives means acknowledging that we are the creators of our reality. It means understanding that our actions, decisions, and mindsets are what shape our experience. This realization can feel intimidating because it eliminates the possibility of blaming others or external events for our struggles. However, it is also incredibly liberating. Once we accept that no one is coming to save us, we can stop waiting and start taking action. We can begin to craft the life we want by making choices that align with our goals and values. When we stop relying on others to save us, we cultivate resilience. Life will inevitably present us with challenges, financial difficulties, relationship issues, health problems, or career setbacks. If we constantly look for someone to pull us out of these situations, we will never develop the strength to handle adversity on our own. But when we take ownership of our lives, we build the inner resources needed to face difficulties with courage and determination. We learn that we are capable of overcoming obstacles, not because someone else fixed them for us, but because we found the solutions within ourselves. This mindset shift doesn't mean that we don't need help or support along the way. We are social beings and relationships are an important part of life. But even in the context of support, the responsibility still lies with us. It's up to us to seek help when needed, to take advice and apply it, and to make the necessary changes. Help can only go so far, it cannot carry us if we are unwilling to walk. This truth also applies to our emotional and mental well-being. Often we hope that others will give us the validation, love, or approval we seek. But external validation is fleeting. No amount of praise or recognition from others can fill the void if we do not first find that worth within ourselves. We must save ourselves by recognizing our inherent value and by cultivating self-love, confidence, and resilience. This inner work is something no one else can do for us. Waiting for someone else to save us often leads to passivity and inertia. We fall into the trap of believing that our circumstances must change before we can take action. But the truth is, life doesn't work that way. Action precedes change. We must move forward, even when the path is unclear. We must take responsibility for our decisions, even when they are difficult. This is how we build the life we want, through consistent effort, reflection, and the courage to take control of our own destiny. Accepting that no one is coming to save you is not about losing hope, it's about finding empowerment. It's about understanding that you are the author of your story, and you have the ability to change the narrative at any moment. It's about recognizing that the strength, wisdom, and resources you need are already within you. This realization is the first step toward true freedom and personal growth. When you fully embrace this truth, you stop waiting and start creating. You stop looking for rescue and begin taking responsibility for your life. And in doing so, you discover that you have the power to save yourself. What you believe about yourself shapes the boundaries of your life, and these beliefs often become your greatest limitations. This principle is both subtle and profound, and it affects nearly every aspect of your existence, your relationships, career, health, and overall sense of fulfillment. The beliefs you hold about who you are and what you are capable of create a framework for your reality, either expanding it with possibility or confining it within the walls of self-imposed limitations. From a young age, we begin to form beliefs about ourselves based on our experiences and the feedback we receive from others, parents, teachers, peers, and society. These beliefs often take root in our subconscious and operate quietly in the background, shaping the choices we make and the risks we are willing to take. Over time, these beliefs harden into what we perceive as truths about ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented, or I'm not worthy. The more we accept these beliefs as fact, the more they become the boundaries of our potential. The most limiting beliefs are the ones that go unchallenged. Many of us accept them without question, not realizing that they are simply interpretations of past experiences, not inherent truths. For example, if you faced failure early in life, you might have formed the belief that you are not capable of success. Over time, this belief grows stronger, influencing your behavior. You might avoid taking risks or pursuing opportunities because you believe that failure is inevitable. In this way, your belief creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. You limit yourself not because you lack ability, but because you believe you lack ability. This process extends to all areas of life. In relationships, if you believe that you are unworthy of love, you may unconsciously push people away or settle for less than you deserve. In your career, if you believe that success is beyond your reach, you may shy away from challenging roles or projects that could lead to growth and advancement. Your beliefs, whether they are positive or negative, shape the actions you take or don't take, and consequently, the results you experience. One of the most damaging aspects of limiting beliefs is that they often operate outside of conscious awareness. Many people aren't even aware that their thoughts about themselves are holding them back. They see their limitations as external, blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck, when, in reality, the root cause is internal. This is why self-awareness is so critical. You must be willing to examine your inner world and question the stories you've been telling yourself. What do you believe about your abilities, your worth, and your potential? Are those beliefs empowering you, or are they keeping you stuck in a narrow version of yourself? The good news is that beliefs are not fixed, they are malleable. You have the power to change them. This process begins with recognizing that the limitations you've placed on yourself are not objective truths, but subjective interpretations. Once you acknowledge this, you can start to consciously rewrite the narrative. This requires a shift in mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. Instead of seeing yourself as someone bound by your past or by external conditions, you begin to see yourself as someone capable of growth, transformation, and unlimited potential. Changing your beliefs isn't an overnight process. It requires consistent effort and self-reflection. One of the most effective ways to challenge limiting beliefs is to take action in spite of them. When you push beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone, you begin to gather evidence that contradicts your old beliefs. For example, if you believe that you're not capable of public speaking, you might start by giving a small presentation to a trusted group of friends or colleagues. Each time you successfully step outside your comfort zone, you weaken the grip of the old belief and reinforce a new, more empowering one: I can do this. It's also important to surround yourself with people who support your growth. Limiting beliefs often thrive in environments where they are reinforced by others. If you are constantly around people who doubt your abilities or encourage you to play it safe, it becomes harder to break free from self-imposed limitations. Conversely, when you are surrounded by individuals who believe in your potential and push you to expand your horizons, it becomes easier to shift your beliefs. The beliefs you hold about yourself determine the quality of your life. If you believe that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of success, you will approach life with confidence and take bold actions that lead to growth and fulfillment. If, on the other hand, you believe that you are limited or unworthy, you will unconsciously create a life that reflects those beliefs. The key to breaking free from limitations lies in changing the way you see yourself. When you believe in your limitless potential, your life begins to mirror that belief, opening doors to opportunities and experiences that were once beyond your reach. Desire is the driving force behind every act of creation. It is the seed from which all things grow, whether it be a work of art, a career, a relationship, or even a change in oneself. Without desire, there is no motivation to strive for something greater, no impetus for growth or progress. It is desire that fuels the imagination, pushes us beyond our current circumstances, and leads us to envision new possibilities. However, the path from desire to manifestation is not without its challenges, and it comes with a cost. Desire demands sacrifice. Something must be let go of in order to bring a new reality into existence. At its core, desire represents a longing for change. Whether it's a desire for success, love, personal transformation, or any other aspiration, the act of desiring signifies that we are not fully satisfied with the present state of things. We are seeking something more, something different. But in pursuing this new reality, we must recognize that the old one cannot coexist with it. This is where sacrifice enters the equation. To grow into something new, we must be willing to shed the old. This could mean letting go of habits, beliefs, relationships, or even parts of our identity that no longer serve us. The idea of sacrifice often carries a negative connotation, but in the context of desire and creation, it is a necessary and transformative process. When we desire something deeply, we are being called to expand, to reach beyond our current limitations. But in order to do that, we must release what holds us back. For example, someone who desires a fulfilling career might need to sacrifice the comfort of their current job, which, while safe and familiar, does not align with their aspirations. This may involve the discomfort of uncertainty, financial risk, or stepping into unfamiliar territory. The sacrifice here is not merely external but internal, letting go of the fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs that keep one anchored in the past. Desire also demands the sacrifice of time and energy. Achieving a goal or bringing a dream to life requires focused effort and dedication. It may mean sacrificing leisure or short-term pleasures in favor of long-term fulfillment. This is the essence of discipline, channeling your energy toward the realization of your desire, even when it is difficult or when distractions and temptations arise. The sacrifice of immediate gratification is often necessary in order to achieve something meaningful and lasting. Furthermore, desire often asks us to confront our attachments. We all have attachments to certain ways of being, to comfort zones, or to ideas about who we think we are. When we pursue a deep desire, we may be required to let go of these attachments to grow into the person capable of living the life we envision. For instance, if you desire a healthier lifestyle, you might need to sacrifice old habits like poor eating choices or a sedentary routine. But beyond that, you may also need to sacrifice the identity of someone who sees themselves as incapable of change, or someone who defines themselves by unhealthy habits. This process of letting go is both painful and liberating, for it allows us to step into a new version of ourselves. Another key aspect of sacrifice in the pursuit of desire is the willingness to face discomfort. Growth, by its very nature, is uncomfortable. When you desire something deeply, you are asking to expand beyond your current self. This often means facing fears, confronting inner resistance, and stepping into the unknown. Many people shy away from pursuing their desires fully because they are not willing to sacrifice their comfort or face the inevitable challenges along the way. But without this willingness to endure discomfort, desire cannot be fully realized. Sacrifice, in this sense, is the willingness to embrace the unknown and trust in the process of creation. It's important to understand that desire, in its truest form, is not simply about acquiring material things or achieving superficial goals. It is about aligning with a deeper sense of purpose and becoming the fullest version of yourself. The sacrifice involved in the pursuit of desire is not about loss, but about making space for something greater to emerge. It's about clearing away the old, the unnecessary, and the limiting in order to create a life that reflects your true aspirations. Desire is not just a fleeting wish or a momentary longing, it is the force that drives us to evolve and create. But this process is not without its demands. Desire requires that we sacrifice the familiar for the unknown, the immediate for the long term, and the limiting for the expansive. It calls us to let go of what no longer serves us so that we can make room for what we truly want to manifest. While the sacrifices may seem difficult at the time, they are necessary steps on the journey to becoming who we are meant to be and creating the life we truly desire. Doubt, not failure, is the greatest enemy standing between you and your goals. Failure, in its essence, is a natural part of any journey towards success. It is an event, not an identity, and often a necessary step toward growth and achievement. Failure teaches us valuable lessons, strengthens our resolve, and when embraced becomes a building block for future success. Doubt, however, is far more insidious. It seeps into your mind, quietly undermining your confidence and resolve before you even begin. Doubt stops you in your tracks, often before you have the chance to try, and it is far more destructive because it paralyzes you with fear and inaction. When you doubt yourself, your abilities, or the path ahead, you are engaging in a form of self-sabotage. Doubt creates a mental barrier that prevents you from even attempting what you desire to achieve. It convinces you that failure is inevitable, that your efforts will be in vain, or that you are not capable or worthy of success. In this way, doubt is more damaging than failure, because failure implies that you've at least taken action, made an attempt, and learned something from the experience. Doubt, on the other hand, keeps you stagnant, preventing any progress at all. Consider the countless opportunities lost to doubt. There are people with brilliant ideas, talents, and potential who never take the first step because they are crippled by self-doubt. They worry about what others will think, about whether they are good enough, or whether they might fail. As a result, they remain stuck in a cycle of inaction, never giving themselves the chance to realize their full potential. In contrast, those who experience failure but persist anyway often find success precisely because they are willing to take risks, face setbacks, and learn from their mistakes. Doubt thrives on inaction and feeds on fear. It convinces you that staying in your comfort zone is safer, that the risks of pursuing your dreams are too high. But in reality, living in a state of doubt is far more detrimental than failure could ever be. Failure provides the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to adjust your approach. Doubt offers nothing but a continuation of the status quo, a life lived in the shadows of your potential. The worst part of doubt is that it often masquerades as rational thinking. You may convince yourself that your doubts are realistic, that they are based on valid concerns, when in fact they are rooted in fear. This fear is often based on past experiences, societal pressures, or an internalized sense of inadequacy. Failure, while painful in the moment, can be transformative. Many of the world's greatest achievements have come on the heels of failure. Inventors, entrepreneurs, artists, and visionaries all have one thing in common: they failed many times before succeeding. They embraced failure as a necessary part of the process, each setback teaching them something new, refining their approach, and making their eventual success more meaningful. Doubt, however, does not lead to such growth. It prevents the journey from even beginning. It convinces you that the road ahead is too difficult, that failure is too likely, and that your efforts will be wasted. The antidote to doubt is action. When you take action, no matter how small, you begin to chip away at the power doubt holds over you. Action creates momentum, and with each step forward, your confidence grows. You begin to see that the fear you once felt is not as overwhelming as it seemed, that the risks were not as insurmountable as doubt led you to believe. Even if you encounter failure, you will have moved forward, learned something, and built the resilience necessary to continue. In contrast, when you give in to doubt, you remain exactly where you are, safe perhaps, but unfulfilled. Doubt also distorts your perception of failure. It makes failure appear final, as though one misstep means the end of your dreams. In truth, failure is never the end, it is simply a part of the process. It is through failure that you learn what doesn't work, what needs adjustment, and how to approach your goals differently. Without failure, there is no growth. But doubt convinces you that failure is something to be feared, something that should be avoided at all costs. This distorted view of failure keeps you from taking the necessary risks that lead to success. Breaking free from doubt requires a shift in mindset. You must begin to see failure as an inevitable and necessary part of growth, rather than something to be feared. You must trust in your ability to learn, adapt, and persevere. This doesn't mean that doubt will disappear entirely. It may still arise from time to time. But when you recognize doubt for what it is, a mental construct designed to protect you from perceived danger, you can choose to move forward despite it. Doubt is your greatest enemy, not failure. Failure teaches, strengthens, and propels you forward. Doubt, on the other hand, keeps you from ever taking the first step. The key to overcoming doubt is action, persistence, and a willingness to embrace the lessons that failure offers. In doing so, you free yourself from the paralyzing grip of doubt and open yourself to the boundless possibilities that lie beyond it. Every moment in life presents a choice, and with each choice we carve the path of our destiny. This is a simple yet profound truth that speaks to the immense power we hold over our own lives. The decisions we make, both big and small, determine the course of our experiences, the outcomes we face, and ultimately the kind of life we live. Choice is the bridge between where we are and where we want to be, and it is in the constant stream of choices that our future unfolds. At first glance, it may seem that many choices are insignificant or inconsequential. Deciding what to wear, what to eat, or how to spend a few spare minutes might not feel like life-altering decisions. Yet the accumulation of these seemingly small choices shapes the quality of our days, which in turn shapes the quality of our lives. For example, the choice to engage in habits that foster health or neglect them slowly creates either well-being or illness over time. The decision to spend time in meaningful relationships or isolate oneself can cultivate either connection or loneliness. These small, everyday choices compound over time to produce significant results. Our choices reflect and reinforce the values and beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world. Every choice we make is a declaration of who we are or who we are becoming. When we make decisions that align with our highest values, we strengthen those values and build a life that is congruent with our deepest desires. On the other hand, when we make choices out of fear, doubt, or inertia, we drift away from the life we truly want to create. This is why it's important to be conscious of the choices we make, even when they appear minor, because they are shaping our destiny in ways we might not immediately recognize. One of the most powerful aspects of choice is that it gives us agency. No matter what circumstances we find ourselves in, we always have the ability to choose how we will respond. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control our reactions, our attitudes, and our mindset. This is where true power lies. The world may present us with challenges, obstacles, or setbacks, but within each moment is the opportunity to choose our response. Do we give up or persevere? Do we react with anger or with patience? Do we see the situation as an opportunity for growth, or do we view it as a reason to quit? In every situation, our choices shape our experiences and define who we are. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, eloquently expressed this in his writings. He observed that even in the most horrific circumstances, people had the ability to choose their response, and in doing so they maintained their inner freedom. While most of us will never face challenges as extreme as those Frankl experienced, his insight remains universally true: we are not powerless, even in the face of difficulty. Our ability to choose how we respond is the ultimate freedom, and it is this power of choice that shapes our destiny. Another significant aspect of choice is its role in creating the future. Each decision we make sets off a ripple effect that extends far beyond the moment itself. Choosing to pursue a new opportunity can lead to unforeseen possibilities, while declining it can close off certain paths. Every decision plants a seed for future outcomes. We may not always see the immediate impact of our choices, but over time, their cumulative effect becomes evident. This is why it is essential to approach decision-making with mindfulness and intention. When we make choices that align with our long-term vision and values, we set ourselves on a path that leads to fulfillment. When we make choices impulsively or out of fear, we may find ourselves drifting further from our goals. There is also the role of responsibility in the power of choice. With choice comes accountability. The life we are living today is largely the result of the choices we've made up to this point. This can be an uncomfortable realization because it means accepting responsibility for our circumstances. However, it also means that we have the power to change those circumstances. If we are unhappy with where we are, we can begin making different choices that lead us in a new direction. This is both liberating and empowering because it means that our future is not fixed, it is being shaped moment by moment through our choices. Every moment holds the power of choice, and it is through these choices that we craft our destiny. The key is to recognize that we are always choosing, whether consciously or unconsciously. By becoming more mindful of our decisions and taking responsibility for them, we reclaim our power to shape our lives in alignment with our true desires. Our destiny is not something handed to us, it is something we create, one choice at a time. When we fully embrace this truth, we unlock the potential to live a life that reflects our highest aspirations and deepest values. In conclusion, the journey of life is shaped by the choices we make, the beliefs we hold, and the actions we take. Each moment presents an opportunity to exercise our power, to either rise above doubt, embrace failure as a teacher, or align ourselves with our deepest desires. It is within us to define our reality, to break free from limitations, and to sacrifice what no longer serves us in pursuit of a greater vision. Ultimately, it is not external forces, but our own mindset and decisions that create the destiny we live. Thank you.